guys, Will here with W.T.F Car Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing this all-new 2022 Chevy Silverado Limited LT Trail Boss.
And before we start, I got to give a huge thank you to Sunset and the rest of the management and staff here at Regal Chevy in Lakeland, Florida for making this review possible. These guys have a really kind staff and a pretty impressive dealership. I'll leave a link to their inventory below. But if you're in the Florida area looking for a new car or truck, I would definitely suggest checking these guys out and ask for Sunset.
So for those of you guys who don't know, the Silverado has been part of Chevrolet's lineup since 1999. It ended up taking over the C and K series pickup truck platform. But fast forward to 2019, Chevy released this all-new 4th generation Chevy Silverado. So here we have the 1500 Limited LT Trail Boss trim. It's almost the top-of-the-line version of this truck. It's the top-of-the-line Trail Boss trim, but it does sit below both the High Country and the LTZ. But here for the LT Trail Boss, what we're going to get here specifically is the automatic locking rear differential. We get the AutoTrack 2-speed transfer case. We get a 170 amp alternator, as well as a Z71 off-road package. So what we get with the Z71 off-road package is a 2-inch lift, monotube shocks. We get skid plates all over the undercarriage of this truck. We get hill descent control and a heavy-duty air filter. So definitely makes it more durable for off-road. We also get the stability track with trailer sway control and hill start assist. We get these really beefy Goodyear Wrangler DuraTrack tires, trailering package with a hitch guidance, as well as a brake pad wear indicator. So other than that, we are gonna get some options with this LT Trail Boss 2. The base price for a limited LT Trail Boss is gonna start around $52,500, but this vehicle does have a couple $1,000 in options, such as the convenience package. It's gonna run you about $1,250, but it's a very useful package. It gives you the universal home remote with the rear sliding window. You get the 8-inch color touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You get USB ports all over the truck, as well as a Bose premium audio system. So pretty good value for a $1,200 package. For $1,000, we get these super beefy off-road steps on the outside of this truck. We'll check all that out once we take a look at the window sticker. For about $750, we do get the leather package, which gives you leather seats for the front and rear, but that's about it for the options. We also get a trailer brake controller. I believe that's about $300, but after about $3,000 in options and a $1,700 destination charge, this truck is gonna sit at an MSRP at around $57,500. So what do we get for that? As far as the front styling, let's jump right in. So we're gonna get full LED headlights. As you see, they're gonna be 3-piece LEDs with some carbon fiber for the headlight housing. That's a really cool touch. Definitely don't see that very often. But continuing down, you can take a look at a functional air curtain over here, gonna help your aerodynamics, and you get a little daytime running strip slash fog light, I guess, with more of that carbon fiber trim for the housing. But really aggressive grille. As you see, we are gonna get the Z71 badge right over here, red tow hooks, and you get a fog light. It's gonna be a projector LED beam right over here with some aluminum on the outside contrasting the housing. But as far as the grille itself, you can see massive Chevrolet bow tie. It's bigger than my hand. Very solid airflow for this radiator. And yes, this is gonna be a radiator since this truck's gonna be powered by the 5.3 liter Ecotec V8. No, not the 6.2. That motor is obviously gonna make a lot more power. We reviewed that in the AT4 GMC Sierra on this channel. But this 5.3 still makes 355 horsepower, 383 pound-feet of torque. So very powerful motor. As you see, we're gonna have another air curtain on the side over here. Very large bulge over here for the center of this hood, definitely making it stand out versus other trucks on the road. But as far as this wheel and tire setup, this is really where this truck's gonna shine. We're gonna get these massive 18-inch rims. We got the 6-piece lug pattern and a 4-piston brake caliper right up front. But these 18-inch rims are gonna be wrapped in Goodyear Wrangler all-terrain tires. Are gonna be DuraTracks. The dimensions are gonna be 275/65 R18, so super beefy tires, really beefy tread blocks too. We'll see if there's any road noise once we take this truck out for a drive. But as you see, very beefy suspension setup. We are gonna get the 2-inch lift, and these running boards, they're gonna be a $1,000 option, but they look really cool. They're not going to really affect the ground clearance overall, because as you see, your differential does sit a little bit lower than these running boards. But anyway, continuing along, we're going to get the blacked out door handles. We get smart access for the driver and the front passenger, no smart access for the rear, but that's coming on the High Country trim. We are going to get tints out rear and no chrome at all. This whole window trim area is going to be blacked out. We got a body color little area up top and a blacked out B-pillar over here. As far as the mirrors, we're going to get these blind spot pockets. The glass itself, absolutely massive, but it would be nice to get blind spot monitoring on a truck that's approaching $60,000. But me personally, as long as I can see what's in my blind spot, I personally don't really care, but still it would be nice to have offered on this vehicle. But continuing along, as you mentioned, no smart access in the rear, no push to open gas tank, but old school little release, easy fill, that's nice. And this truck does accept regular 87 octane fuel. We do get a little bit of a splash guard right over here, and you can take a look at your suspension setup. Thanks to this 2-inch lift, it's really easy to see. We got our leaf spring set up right over here. We got our red shock absorber and our live rear axle right back here. But as far as a spare tire, as you see, they're not going to be all terrains like these beefy Goodyear Wrangler tires, unfortunately, but it's still going to be a full-size spare. You guys can take a look at it right down over here. The rim is just going to be steel, and the tires are just going to be all seasons, but it's still nice that we don't get stuck with a donut on this truck. As you see, same setup right back here with the 275/65s R18s. Really impressive wheel and tire setup. Continuing along, we've got the Trail Boss little sticker. As you see, we got some Mountain Rangers over here on the sticker itself, and a Chevrolet little nameplate on your tailgate. But continuing along, you check out your LED taillights with your reverse light, Silverado nameplate right down here. We do get grips for this tailgate so you can step on it without necessarily having to worry about slipping. And I always love how the GM trucks have this little step, making it a lot easier to get in and out of your little tailgate. You simply just pop right in. But first thing I noticed, we're not going to get a spray and bed liner. I'm sure that's going to be coming in the aftermarket. You could also get a drop bed liner for this truck. But anyway, over here you got your trailer controllers right here, wiring harnesses. As far as the towing capacity, I'll put a little text box right back here. We are going to get dual exhaust and an LT trim right over here. We're not going to get the multifunctional tailgate. If you guys saw my AT4 review, that's one of my favorite tailgates in the business. I think it's super convenient the way the step works, but we still got our 2 cameras right over here. One of them for the trailer, helps you line it up. We'll check that out once we go inside and take a look at the cameras. But we can pop this tailgate. It is going to be damped, and you can take a look at your standard size bed, or this is the short bed. But anyway, it's not going to be bed line, unfortunately. The tailgate area over here does have a little screw in drop in bed liner, but the tailgate itself could definitely use a bed liner in the aftermarket. But anyway, you can see we are going to get the tie downs on all 4 corners. To get into this tailgate, especially with this 2-inch lift, it's going to be much more difficult without this cargo step, but still not too tough overall. We're not going to get the camera mirror with this truck, but that of course is coming as an option. We get LED lights for the corners of this bed as well, and a AC adapter right over here. It's going to be 120 volt and 400 watt. But that's about it for the tailgate area. We can take a step out here. Again, it's pretty high up, so you got to be careful getting in and out, but we can shut this up right over here. Take a step back, take a look at the rear styling one last time, and let's start this 2022 Silverado LT Trail Boss up and hear how this 5.3 liter V8 sounds. All right, guys, that was of course the sound of the 5.3 liter Ecotec V8 sold by GM for the Silverado Limited LT Trail Boss. And it doesn't sound quite as beefy as a 6.2, but still sounds pretty good. We're gonna be making 355 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque. Enough to get this truck to 60 in around 7.5 seconds. So no, not the fastest. If you want the better performance, yes, you're gonna have to option up to the 6.2 liter V8, which is available for a couple $1,000 extra. But as you see right here, we are gonna get these cross supports screwed into your chassis, making it much stiffer, as you'll see once you take it out for a drive. These GM trucks, even with the off-road package and this 2-inch lifts, they feel unbelievably nimble for a 1500 full-size truck. But we can close this hood up right over here. You can check out your daytime running strips. They're pretty bright too. They're definitely getting the job done. Really impressive front end styling. But let's step over here and check out the interior on this all new 2022 Silverado Limited LT Trail Boss. So up top, we're gonna get leather stitch material all over this door panel. The only problem is it is not soft at all. This leather over here, it's pretty rough. It's gonna be very durable long term, but the leather up top, it is soft. It's much softer than the leather on the bottom. So I'm kind of surprised why they wouldn't continue the same material for the entire door panel, but it's still gonna be leather trim, very high quality touch. It's just not quite as soft as vehicles in the competition. But over here, you got this gloss finish wood trim over here. Looks really nice with some aluminum on the outside. Power one touch for the driver, no power one touch for the other passengers, but you still get power one touch for the up and down for the driver. 4-way adjustable mirrors right here, aluminum door handle, very good weight resistance too. But this whole area over here is gonna be hard plastic, to be expected, but that leather trim continues all the way over here. But down here, massive storage compartment. You can easily fit like 2 large sodas in here, maybe even a big gulp in there, and you can easily fit a foot long or 2 in here. But this vehicle is going to have the premium audio system that's going to be coming on your $1,200 convenience package. And stepping in here, we are going to get these running boards, and they are labeled Silverado right over here. We're also going to get a little aluminum little entrance plate with a Z71 badge on your floor mat, the all-weather floor mat, and it's going to cover this entire pedal area too. But as far as these seats, they are going to be leather seats. They're going to be coming on your $700 leather option package, and they're going to be very soft leather seats. Not the most supportive, wouldn't really be expected for a full-size truck, but still more than supportive enough, and the leather does feel pretty premium. But as far as the adjustability, you think you can slide them, lift them, drop them, recline them right here, and you have two-way adjustable lumbar control too. No four-way lumbar control, unfortunately, but still does the job nevertheless. We could take a step inside this limited LT trail bus and really check it out. So the first thing I noticed is going to be the steering wheel. Not the thickest, but more than thick enough. You're not going to get any 10-2 bolstering notches either, but it's not a sports car. It wouldn't really be expected. The steering wheel itself, definitely love the leather. Feels really nice. You get these 3 little pockets over here. So if you want to be reckless, drive with your arm on your lap, the steering wheel does accommodate it. If you want to have your elbow on this armrest, this little spoke right here, very accommodating. The center area with the Chevy bow tie, the bow tie is going to be blacked out. The horn itself, area is going to be rubberized. The horn, very aggressive sounding horn. You got some aluminum outlining your steering wheel controls. The controls over here, these are your cruise control settings. You got a heated steering wheel, voice commands right here, and you can adjust the infotainment with this little dial over here. So as far as the infotainment, as you see, we're looking at a digital speedo right now. We'll turn this air down by 1 so you guys can hear a little better. But we can see the digital speedometer. You can see how much fuel is left in the tank. You can press this button over here and you can adjust between the distance. You can see your average miles per gallon. You can see your music settings, so you can see what song's currently playing. You can see the navigation with a compass. So if you have the turn by turn turned on, you can see it right in your heads up. You can see your call settings as well as your messages and the overall settings. You can adjust units, info pages, home pages, options, speed warning. So it gives you a little ding ding if you hit like say 75 miles an hour. You can set it to whatever speed you like, but that's about it. We can come out of here. You can see the overall settings and the home right back over here where we're going to see our digital speedometer. And it's probably my favorite to look at all times, so we're going to leave it right here. But as far as the tach, it's going to go to about 5,700 RPM. Not the highest revving motor, but very torquey with its 383 pound-feet of torque. 140 for the speedometer. As far as these little auxiliary gauges, you got the oil temperature, coolant temperature, gas level, and the gas. You can see the arrows pointing to the left side. That's where the fuel tank is, and you got the voltometer on the right. But to the left of it, or behind the steering wheel, you can see we're going to have these pretty flimsy wiper stocks. We are going to have auto headlights right over here, and these are rain sensing wipers. It's just the wiper stock itself does feel a little bit cheap and flimsy, but not a very big deal. I know most of you guys don't really care about it. On the other side, we got our gear selector for our 10-speed automatic transmission with the manual controls right over here. No paddle shifters, also wouldn't really be expected with a full-size truck, but you can throw it into reverse and you can check out your backup camera. So this backup camera is going to have guidance lines and trajectory, and it's a super high resolution camera. You can press this button right over here. You have a little trailer line, so you can adjust your hitch and line it up directly with your receiver. But anyway, you can go right back over here and put the car back into park. You can see it does take a second for the camera to go back to the home screen, but after a second it does go back. And to the left of the steering wheel, you can take a look at your 4-wheel drive controls. This vehicle has 4-wheel drive auto, 4 high, 2 high, and 4 low. Of course, you got the fog lights over here, auto headlights, you got the bed lights you can adjust right here, and your tow haul mode right over here. And this area is going to be outlined with aluminum and some leather stitch trim over here. But the dashboard itself just going to be hard plastic, but it is nice for the front of the dash to have this leather trim all around it, because this is going to be the area that you actually are going to be touching. You're not going to be really touching the back part of the dashboard most of the time. But up top, you got a little bit of a cubby, nice little storage area over here. As far as the mirror, it's not going to be a frameless, it's not going to be auto dimming either. You got to dim it yourself. It's not going to be the camera mirror, unfortunately, but still does the job. Right back here, you have the little switch. It opens up your 5th window, and you can throw some trash into your bed. You can get rid of some of the buffeting noises if you want to drive the windows down, but that's about it. As far as this infotainment screen, typical GM, you got your 8-inch screen. It's going to have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and you got your trailering camera. So that button really activates your trailer light test to make sure that the lights work onto your trailer. We don't have to do that right now, especially since we don't have a trailer connected, but you guys can take a look at the rest of these screens over here. Of course, we got the camera button too. You can just press it at all times if you don't want to just have it when it's in reverse. So pretty cool overall. We can get out of here, but as far as the settings, we can see what we can adjust over here on this screen. So time and date, language, phones, Wi-Fi networks, Wi-Fi hotspot, privacy, device remote, sounds, voice, favorites, and updates. That's all going to be ran through the system. As far as the apps, you can turn off your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto if you would like to for one reason or another. You can adjust your audio, so like bass, treble, My Chevrolet, you can adjust it to your likings. Phone, Sirius XM. As far as vehicle settings, you have the rear seat reminder, so when you turn the car off, it tells you to check your rear seat. You can adjust the climate and air quality, so you have the auto fan speed, auto defog, and auto rear defog. We got the lighting controls, power door locks, remote lock, teen driver mode, and valet mode. So if you're giving your truck to like your kid or a valet driver, you can set it so that they're not going too crazy in your LT Limited Trail Boss. But that's about it for the infotainment system. We can just go back to the home screen right over here. Beneath that, you got your volume controls. Very nice rubberized feel for the dial itself. Same thing with the tuning controls. But anyway, beneath that, you got automatic climate control, dual zone auto climate control, heated seats, no cooled seats, which is odd because you do have 2 buttons over here, but these are just dual mode heated seats. Right here, you can press the button, it will heat up your back only. And if you press this button right here, but if you press this button right here, it'll heat up your back and your butt at the same times. Right here, you got hill descent control. You can pop your tailgate right here, hazards, traction control off, and you can adjust your AC adapter right over here. You press this button, it turns it on and off. Beneath that, you got your trailer brake controller, USB-C, USB, and a 12 volt right over here, if you can see it. But right next to it, you got your AC adapter too. So pretty good, pretty convenient, and it'll definitely help you when it comes to charging your stuff up in this truck. Right here, this is where the wireless charger would be if it was equipped with this truck, but this truck does not have a wireless charger equipped with it, so this is just gonna be used for a little bit of extra storage. Back here, you got 2 cup holders. They're gonna be lined out with aluminum, and this area over here, it's gonna have that gloss finished wood trim too. And beneath that, more storage over here for the outside or inside of your center console area. But as far as center console, let's check it out. This whole area is gonna be super soft leather, very comfortable area to rest your arm, 20 times softer than the Camaro that we just reviewed in this channel. You open it up right here. Look at the storage. You can easily fit like 2 bowling balls in here. You can probably get some drinks in there too, maybe like a 12-pack of cans outside your bowling balls. You can fit a couple pens over here and these little pockets, and you get a USB-C, USB, and an aux port with an SD card as well. And this console area is gonna be lit, so at night it should be pretty easy to see all your stuff. But as far as the second glove boxes, you have 2 of them. You can open this one up right here. It's gonna be soft touch on the outside too, pretty impressive, but not the most space. I'd say you fit maybe, let's say 6 to 8 iPhone Pro Maxes in there. Pretty solid space, but not the most. You can check out the second storage compartment right over here. It's not gonna be lined with felt or anything, but it's gonna be damped. Pretty massive. I'd say you fit 15 to 20 license plates in there. But that's about it for the interior, guys. Really impressive overall. Very comfortable. Love the leather seats. Love the feel of the steering wheel, and you have a very commanding view of the road with this 2-inch suspension lift. But let's check out the back seat real quick, see how much space is offered back there, as well as the quality of the materials. All right, guys, taking a step in the back seat of the 2022 Silverado Limited LT Trail Boss. Let's check it out. So as far as the door panel, you got some of that same leather material for this area. It's not gonna be the softest, but it is nice to still have stitched leather. It does feel like it's gonna be very durable long term. Up top, you have some much softer leather for like the upper part of the door panel, which again, it's odd. It would be more appreciated for this material to be continued down here. It would just make more sense since most people will have their arm here more often. But again, it's still gonna be leather trim, very high quality. You got that really nice gloss finish wood over here. Window controls with the aluminum outside your gloss wood. The rest of this area is gonna be hard plastic to be expected, but you can easily fit a foot long or 2 in there, and at least 1 big gulp in this little cup holder area. But the running boards continue. They're not gonna be labeled Silverado over here in the back. But as far as these seats and this legroom, this is absolutely ridiculous amount of legroom. All full-size trucks have really impressive legroom, and the Silverado definitely does not disappoint. But these seats, they're all gonna be leather seats. They're gonna be pretty flat, basically just a bench out here for this truck. But you got some secret storage back here. You can throw some secret stuff in there, and it opens up on the other side as well. These seats, they also pop up. You just lift them up, and you got some extra storage right here. With a flat floor, you can easily put like a bunch of pillows, sleeping bag back here, and sleep here for a night. Kind of functions like a twin-size bed, especially with the air vents right above you. But we can drop these seats, take a step inside, and really see how much space we have back here, and it's really impressive. So I'm 6 feet tall sitting behind my seat settings, and I easily have over a foot of knee room. I got a ton of space for my feet. The air vents are gonna be right here. No 3rd zone climate control, unfortunately, but wouldn't really be expected with a relatively mid-trim truck. I got the USB-C, USB port right over here, and a wireless charger right over there with some additional cup holders. But other than that, you do get mat pockets behind both seats. This little center cubby area, we'll take a look at it right over here. The seatbelt's kind of in the way, but we can still take a look at it right here. We get 2 cup holders, very soft armrest, not even close to as impressive as what we get in the Ram. The Ram's little center cubby is basically like a center console, really impressive, but that's still super soft area to rest your arm nevertheless. You got some interior lights right over here. You can turn them on these sides. But that's about it for the inside and outside of this all-new 2022 Chevy Silverado Limited LT Trail Boss. Let's take it out for a drive. All right, guys, now that we've just about seen everything we need to see with the inside and outside of this all-new 2022 Chevy Silverado Limited LT Trail Boss, let's take it out for a drive and really see how it performs. So first thing I noticed, of course, was that gear selector. That's gonna be gone for the post-refresh versions of at least the Sierra. I'm not quite sure about the Silverado, but the post-refresh Sierra is definitely gonna be getting rid of that old school gear selector. But other than that, another thing I noticed right away is the steering. It feels really on center, really impressive. That's probably where this truck really shines. It's the way this vehicle steers. It feels so much smaller than the competition thanks to that, at least in my opinion. Like the Ram, we just reviewed the Ram in this channel. We haven't reviewed the F-150 yet. That's gonna be like the next truck that I'm gonna try my best to get for you guys. But as far as comparing this to the Ram, it feels so much smaller. Even with the 2-inch lift, it feels like a smaller truck because of the steering. It feels much more on-centered, much more direct, with a very good weight to it. Not to say that the Ram steering is bad by any means. That vehicle still steers very, very well. But the steering in this truck is so good that it makes it feel like it's half the size that it really is. Just driving this truck around, I was really, really surprised when I stepped out just how big it really is. But as soon as we got some empty area over here, we'll step out into this multiple lane highway and see how this truck can accelerate. But right here, we lead into it about halfway. Ooh, right here, good power. Wow. Only half throttle, we go to about 4,000 RPM. We get to highway speeds pretty quickly, pretty impressive too. And now that we're cruising about 55 miles an hour on the highway, you don't really hear any tire noise with these all-terrain tires. And these tires have some fat tread blocks, and pretty impressive that they're pretty quiet, even going 55 miles an hour on this highway. But we'll step over these train tracks as soon as this light over here turns green, and we're gonna have a road with some twisties, and we can really see how this 1500 Trail Boss can handle the sharp turns, at least on the road. But all right, guys, taking a step over here, like I said, we are gonna get some train tracks over here, so we'll see how this truck keeps its overall composure. But right over here, pretty impressive. You don't really hear anything. That's one of the quieter train track ride overs that I've had in any vehicle over those tracks. So pretty composed when it comes to isolation from the road, but you do feel the bump a little bit more versus the Ram Longhorn Limited Edition that we reviewed with the off-road package. I think that truck has a little bit better ride quality, but where the Ram has better ride quality, this is definitely much better when it comes to just overall handling. Throwing it through these turns, this truck feels like it's half the size of the Ram, even with its 2-inch lift. It's truly mind-blowing to me how GM has been able to engineer a truck that's this big, but handles like it's so small. Really impressive to me, at least. But we have a little bit of open road right here. We'll come to a complete stop and see how this truck can accelerate off the line. But all right, guys, in 2-wheel drive high, just matting the gas pedal. Ooh, really strong. Ooh, wow. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good power, guys. We get to X amount of miles an hour pretty effortlessly. I was actually not expecting it to take off like that off the line. It doesn't take off nearly as hard as the Ram with the 5.7 Hemi. It definitely doesn't drive as fast as the Sierra AT4 with the 6.2, obviously. But even with this 5.3 engine, you got more than enough power. Surprisingly strong motor right here, sharp turn. This truck stays really surprisingly flat, and on the gas coming out, yeah, we got to get on the brakes for this upcoming twisty. I definitely don't have that much confidence in this truck, but right here, still throwing it in, wow, pretty impressive. But yeah, we don't have to take it a whole lot farther than that. We'll step out into this road over here, just normal acceleration, barely on the gas, going to about 1800 RPMs. We get to the speed limit speeds really effortlessly. Really impressive low end torque with this 5.3 liter motor. I usually tell people that if they really want good power out of their V8 from the Silverados or GMC trucks, or even like the Suburbans and Tahoes, I always recommend going the 6.2, because I always felt like the 5.3 is just not really that powerful. But the way that it's tuned, you have a very solid low end punch. You can just be lightly accelerating with the gas pedal, and the 5.3 definitely gives you more than enough power while still giving you a little bit better gas mileage versus the 6.2. So I wouldn't necessarily say you have to go with the 6.2. I still would prefer it. It's just the 5.3 is still a very solid compromise. But I'm gonna throw in the POV hat, give you guys a first-hand look driving this truck, and I'll catch back with you in 1 second. But all right, guys, stepping back out over here, give you guys a nice first-hand look driving this truck. As you see, we get a really commanding view of the road, especially with this 2-inch lift. But lightly on the gas, going to about 2,000 RPM. As you see, we get to speed really quickly. We don't really have much noise either. Very quiet cabin. As far as the windows, they're not going to be dual pane, but they're still a very thick compound. These are going to be tinted windows too, definitely making the truck look a lot cooler on the outside. But right here, we're not going to hit this turn too fast, but as you see, even when we turn the wheel, we got basically zero body roll in the steering. It's so responsive and so on center. Really impressive for an off-road capable truck with these all-terrain tires. But all right, guys, taking a step out over here, you'll see how this vehicle can really perform. We're gonna have some sharp twisties coming along. We're not gonna just hammer on the gas right now. We don't need to. You see the vehicle picks up speed just about effortlessly with very, very little throttle, very low RPMs, as you see right here. Sharp turn on the brakes. The brakes work pretty well, and as you see, the vehicle stays completely flat throughout the entire turn. We have another little turn coming up right over here. We'll hit it faster than we should. We got the guy stopping in front of us, so never mind. But even hitting the turn at a regular speed, you see very, very little body roll. That Pilot up front, we reviewed a Pilot on this channel. That car has, or that SUV has way more body roll than this truck. I don't even think it's close. When we were hitting the Pilot through the twisties, the thing was swaying left and right all over the place, and which makes it even more impressive to me how well this truck can handle. Obviously, no, it's not going to be a sports car. I hope nobody that's looking to buy this truck expects it to handle like a sports car, but compared to this vehicle's size, it definitely drives much smaller than it looks. The complete opposite to the 2019 Ford Explorer we reviewed on this channel. That vehicle felt a lot bigger than it really was. So the Ford Explorer that we reviewed on this channel had more body roll than this truck. I don't even think it was close. But one more little set of twisties over here. You see this vehicle handles the turns really impressively for a full-size truck. But again, right here, really, really impressive. I hope you can pick it up on camera how well this truck drives through the turns. It has very good ride quality. Not quite as great as the Ram, but where it lacks in ride quality, it definitely more than makes up for it when it comes to the handling capability. But all right, let's step out into this highway right over here. We're leading into the gas about halfway. Ooh, really strong acceleration. See, that's only half throttle. We do go pretty high in the rev range. It goes to about 4,000 RPM, and it does kind of sound a little bit loud from the exhaust, but it definitely sounds pretty good. It could definitely benefit from like a muffler upgrade to get a little bit more throatiness in the exhaust, but I still think this 5.3 motor sounds pretty good overall. But other than that, huge thanks to Regal Chevy in Lakeland, Florida for making this review possible. Really impressive truck, one of the best off-road trucks that I've driven. I think the on-road driving when it comes to the driving dynamics and handling, the Silverado and the Sierra are just miles ahead of the competition. But other than that, again, huge thanks to Regal Chevy. I'll leave a link to their inventory below. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time making this video. Really impressive off-road capable truck. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know I'm beyond grateful for all the subscribers. You know, the channel is just not possible without the subscribers, so I have a true appreciation for each and every one of you. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's any specific vehicles you'd like to see reviewed in this channel too. And I'll definitely try to get those videos for you as soon as possible. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching. Had a great time making this video, and I hope all of you have a great day.